Alright, we've arrived in the next destination, Lightning Ridge. It's again explaining the history of the Great Artesian Basin and the bore baths that were drilled. On my road trip last year, I actually stopped at the Pilliga Artesian bore baths, right here. Pilliga. That's as far west as I went on the last road trip. We stayed there for the first night of that trip. And right now we're up here at Lightning Ridge, where they have more bore baths. The bore baths were open 1962 and they're free of charge, open 24/7. Where I got a bunch of pamphlets and stuff from the information center. I'm starting to develop quite a collection. I do enjoy collecting them and actually reading through. There's some good information in there. I just want to collect them all, and I mean, places I've been, I'll just give them to other people who plan to go there. But I don't know, I like to develop a bit of a collection, a library. I was asking about opal mining tours. Lightning Ridge is right in the middle of black opal country. Some even call it the opal capital of New South Wales, and I'm definitely interested in doing a tour. Now there's a lot of like guided tours, including like full day tours, and yeah, some that you have to like book for, which I haven't booked anything. I wasn't even sure exactly what time I would make it here. So yeah, there's some really cool tours available out here, so I will definitely have to return to Lightning Ridge in the future when I have more time.
When you go down the bottom, turn right, and there's a ladder there that used to be a lift in 1982. Because of moisture down there, nobody lives underground.
How long ago did this mine stop
82.
operating? 82?
No, I'm still operating, 4 months.
Yeah.
And 82 is when it's opened.
Ah, it opened in 82. And
and still mining.
Still mining.
4 months a year.
And then when it's not operating, you do the tours?
Yes, yeah, the tours that are paid for me looking for opal.
Alright. I'm going on a tour down into what is still an operating opal mine. Wow. This goes pretty deep down. It's all got lights. So I think it's $25 I paid. I just rocked up, you don't have to book. It's the big opal. This used to be at right on the edge of inland sea. So this mine opened in 82, and it is still operating for 4 months a year. Okay, where are we? Right, exit. Significantly cooler down here, of course. Pretty sure they'd maintain the same ambient temperature all year round. Eerily still. Wow, I'm surprised they just let you go down like this. They give you the torch, hard hat, and yeah. Very musky smell. Must be kerosene lamps. They'll definitely use those down here. I have this whole mine to myself. So this is what an opal mine looks like. Australia is the #1 producer of opals in the world, and Lightning Ridge is right in the center of black opal country. Wow, we're at the end of this tunnel. Leads to more tunnels down there. That's probably where they would be doing some mining. Wow. Seeing our homeland from the sea. The story of peoples of all nations in their homelands. Woodstock, bourbon and coal. The bed down here. Is this where they sleep? Or where they would have slept? I don't know. Would you even sleep down here? Air would get very tight. Right, I'm gonna turn this off actually and save the battery a bit. He did mention that this torch has a tendency to go flat, so I'm gonna save battery. Get your pickaxe. Okay, which way should we go? Right, let's go right. Option is either left or right. When in doubt, go right. Well, the end of this tunnel. This looks like where they've done some more recent work. Controls. What does that say? Forward, stop, reverse. Had some kind of excavator. And whoa, up here is an what looks to be an old mine shaft. So yeah, we've got the stairway. This probably would have been how they had to go up and down the surface. I can hear voices. Someone else has come. Whoa. That is, you can't see the end on the camera. I can see up there and I can hear voices. Incredible. First ever time in an opal mine. Well, this is my first ever time in the mines. Man, this is bringing back childhood memories. Of course, one of my favorite games of all time is Minecraft. So yeah, man, we go down. We belong in the mines. Da, 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 da. Starting to become more narrow. Ooh. It's gonna start really bending down. Now I know why he gave me the hard hat. Okay, it's the end of this mine shaft. Another big opal mining town is Cooper, South Australia, and that's like, yeah, really close to Lake Eyre, which is the lowest elevation point of the Australian continent. Oh. Ooh, okay, that's really tight under here. Right. Okay, it is really muddy here and wet. Oh. Okay, we've reached the end. It's very muddy. Stay along the edge. And yep, I made it. Ooh. Yes. Oh, man. Oh boy. Behind the stairway here is another mine shaft that goes further on. Yeah, it's a bit creepy just being down here alone. This was the original lift to go down instead of a stairway, so you go stand on there, then go up, down. Like those controls we could see at the bottom, that's to go up and down. This is the only tour of an actual working mine. Like this guy, he's the miner. He goes down there, he mines. So yeah, we got to go down an operating mine. I thought it was like a historic mine. No, this is an operating mine. So here it's showing the map of Australia's opal mining areas. So we're right here, Lightning Ridge. But yeah, all the way up to Queensland there, they've got opal mines. Cooper, of course, a famous one, and Amuka, and then over in Western Australia. As a historic opal mining town, just a mining town in general, historically a lot of people would come here in search of work. So it's just showing here that, yeah, Lightning Ridge, history of migration from colonial times to present. So there's a map here of nationalities represented in Lightning Ridge population. Right, I've come to the walk-in mine, which I was recommended to go at the information centre. So yeah, I'm glad I stopped by the Big Opal. I saw the road sign and just followed it to there. Open 9 to 5 since 1963. Easiest access mine tour in Lightning Ridge. We're entering another hard hat area, going on a self-guided mine tour. $20 for this one, so not bad at all. You get complimentary tea and coffee afterwards. So yeah, let's go. Vamos. Watch your noggin, mate. Please don't touch the walls. Yes. Again, getting nice and cool down here. It's a beautiful day up there, actually. Perfect weather. Down here, of course, like day and night, or really any time of the year, it's just constant temperature. The level you can see behind the wire is the opal bearing dirt. This clay varies in thickness and can contain pockets of knobbies or seam opal. The opal usually occurs under the sandstone level. There can be several levels of sandstone, then opal bearing clay to a depth of possibly 30 meters. The clay slurry produced when this level is washed is used by our local potter, who then creates some very fine and unique ceramics. Okay, which way? First we go right. Okay. Different types of opal. So that's what the town is most famous for, the black opal. Pay attention to the shape of the roof, which is arched. Curved roofs are the strongest structure to have underground. Strictly emergency exit only. Ooh. New South Wales produces the largest proportion of Australian opal in terms of value. Lightning Ridge is famous for producing black opal, the darkest and most valuable form of opal. White Cliffs is known for seam opal, which is usually white, milk or crystal opal. Lightning Ridge opal fields are synonymous with world-famous gem-quality black opals. Unlike ordinary opals, the black opal has carbon iron oxide trace elements, producing the most sought-after opal in the world. Legend has it the name Lightning Ridge was coined after a shepherd, his dog, and 600 sheep were killed during a fierce electrical storm while sheltering in a low ridge in the area. Situated in northern New South Wales, 76 kilometres from Sydney, the ridge is home to an estimated current population of about 3,000. Live in the town and work either as servicing the miners or digging the stones. Particularly the rare black opals are the truest treasures of the district.
It's all washed down, and what was left, as we said, the tailings. And we just sort through this slowly, go through and try and pick up opal out of it, a little bit of potch here. Blue bucket for posh, red bucket for colour. That's how we know we're excited. It saves us a bit of time and money. Bit of excitement here today. Greg over here on the phone, we've got Archie running, a few trucks going, and all about to have a good time. Up the conveyor. Straight into the Adgie here. Adgie bowl spinning. Basically, we're going to come to a tail out this week. We'll reverse it out once it's all been washed down, and it'll run out, and we'll have what we'll call our tailings left out on the tray here. We'll go through it, and we'll have a look from there.
Only one place on Earth produces black opal fossils, Lightning Ridge in northern New South Wales. It's the only opal field in Australia with fossils of diverse land-living organisms, pine cones, platypus, microscopic protozoans, and gigantic dinosaurs. Fossils are usually exact replicas of plant, shell, or bone material, and at times they're comprised of gem-quality black opal, which is as valuable as diamonds and more beautiful. Another very interesting underground mine experience. We're all done at the walk-in mine tour and opal shop, fossicking and much more. It's only $20 to go underground, so yeah, definitely well worth it. Self-guided tour, lots of information. Areas especially around where the Great Artesian Basin is located. It's mostly made up of, porous sedimentary rock, like what we're pretty much standing on, like sandstone layers, and over time water has been soaked down there. Explaining how sediment layers from leftover inland seas, that's basically what contributed to the formation of opals, that mixed with all the organic matter, including some rare fossils, for instance. Yeah, on the drive to Lightning Ridge, once again landscape changed to flat plains, or just shrubland. Really going towards Lightning Ridge again, larger trees starting to pop up, mixed in with some shrubs. Heading further east, we're getting back into more woodland rather than shrubland. So yeah, but yeah, around here I also noticed there's a lot more, some different vegetation, a lot more cacti actually, prickly pear, which is a real pest, invasive species. But yeah, beautiful area, beautiful day from here in Lightning Ridge. I'm gonna go check into where I'm staying today, and then we'll walk around town a bit. I'll explore, and I definitely want to go to those. I'll have a nice shower and definitely go to the bore baths. And just a few hundred meters down the road from the Lightning Ridge Holiday Park, where I'm staying for the night. Just got myself the cheapest unpowered site. I think it's like $25. So yeah, had a nice shower, so I'm all refreshed. I'll show you a bit around I'll show you a little bit around the facilities before I leave tomorrow morning. But for now, I'm just walking into town. Going to go check out the Artesian bore baths, the Lightning Ridge Artesian bore baths, I should say, because again, as you can imagine, all that information about the opal mining, Lightning Ridge is also above the Great Artesian Basin, tapping into it. Maybe along the way, find somewhere to get a bite for dinner. Definitely feels much safer compared to Burke or Brewarrina. There's a lot more families out and about. In all the towns that I've been traveling in Queensland, I never felt any issues with safety. But yeah, Burke and Brewarrina definitely, didn't feel quite safe walking around some of those streets. Although I've definitely gotten a lot better at handling myself with tricky situations, and I'm becoming with traveling like this, I've definitely become a lot more street smart. You're forced to do that traveling on your own, because you need to be on the ball, paying attention to your surroundings, and just act accordingly. So yeah, there's a lot more families out and about. A lot of tourists here, of course. It's a opal mining capital of New South Wales. Black opals especially up in Queensland. There's a lot of Victorian number plates. All these grey nomads towing their caravans around. There was like hardly any families or young people that was venturing those towns. So Lightning Ridge, a lot more families out and about. So yeah, it does have a much more lively atmosphere, I would say. Nice little peaceful community here at Lightning Ridge, a mining town. So it's the first proper mining town that I've been in, and I quite like it so far. Lightning Ridge definitely has that dry desert feel, especially with the cacti around. It's very a lot of gravel and just very sandy. So yeah, quite different compared to the other places I've been. Like yeah, just different. But a lot more tree cover, a lot more trees as well. So definitely heading further east, start to get more dense vegetation. Trees again, as opposed to shrubland or sparse plains. Alright guys, made it to the Lightning Ridge Artesian bore baths. We're right on the edge of town. I see an interesting sign here. It says sealed road ends. Sealed road ends. Road impassable from this point during periods of wet weather. So yeah, there's a lot of dirt roads just outside town, so it really shows just how remote we are. And the roads going into Lightning Ridge and even within the town itself, I will say, are quite crap. Yeah, well, if it gets wet, then of course you're just going to get bogged in. Impassable. A lot of tourist campers. These Artesian bore baths are publicly accessible and free 24/7, so you can come and go whenever you want. Nice big circular pool, nice and deep as well. Like I stand flat like this, it's right up to my chin. And again, the algae starting to form along the walls. You see it floating around in here, and wow, this is hot. I would say at the Cunnamulla Hot Springs is equivalent to the hottest pool. Really don't want to stay in here that long. I think I've already had enough, and I've only been in for like less than 5 minutes. Oh, still very warm, slightly cooler, so you can't really cool yourself off. Use a shower inside for that, I'd say. facility was built in 1962. The in-ground pool is filled with hot mineralized water drawn from Great Artesian basins by means of a bore sunk to a depth of 1204 meters, wow, flowing at 9 liters per second. Temperature varies from 40 to 46 degrees Celsius, so take care of the small children and anyone elderly and those suffering from heart conditions. Relaxing soak is the best remedy for soothing all your aches and pains. Leave the pool and cool down under the shower between short immersion times. Yeah, I only went in there for two 5-minute intervals, and that's it. I'm done. I don't want to do any more. It's quite a change compared to the freezing cold plunges that I like to take into the creek back home. So yeah, I mean, I just had a cold rinse in the shower, and yeah, all the showers I've had on this trip, whenever I can, I always have a cold shower, keep the cold immersion going. But yeah, I've definitely softened up and pampered myself a bit on this trip with going on these bore baths. I really do quite enjoy it. So yeah, I don't just do cold plunges, believe me, but going back home, we're gonna have to continue the cold plunges every single day. No excuse. So that's it for today. I'll next see you tomorrow morning back at the Lightning Ridge Holiday Park where I'm staying. And yeah, then we'll have to get ready to leave the town and make the long journey back home. See you all tomorrow.